Hello, good evening everyone. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Let's see if others join the session. Guys, we'll just wait a couple of minutes so that we can start with others. Uh, okay, so it. I have uploaded last week's session. Let me share the links to you. Anyway, I have posted the link in discussion forum if you want to check. But I will post it in the chat also. Okay, so I have shared the YouTube link. You can find the last week's session here, and I'll be uploading all the videos on the same channel. So if you want, you can just follow, or you can just keep a track. So should we wait for a couple of minutes more, or should we start the session? Okay. Uh, so welcome once again. The course is Project Planning and Control. This is the live session related to week 2 contents. The course instructor is Professor Koshy Verghese. I am Venugopal Mahajan, a PhD student at IIT Delhi. Uh, are there any students are there any joiners for the first time?
Yes, sir, I'm joining for the first time. Rishi
Uh,
Lal.
okay. So there are so we will see what the course is about very quickly. So simple. It is the basic concepts of project planning and control. We will be dealing with scheduling mostly. Week 1 introduction to construction project management has been done. You can see it in the YouTube video. Week 2 we will be discussing time management overview, WBS, and bar charts. So These sessions do come with some uh, requirements from your side also. These are supposed to be highly interactive sessions, and this is the way I have planned the contents. So it would be better if I can listen to you guys. You are free to turn on your mics anytime you want. So the guys who are joining for the first time, uh, can you please share something about you and what you are expecting from this course, these sessions? See, it would be a great way if we know about each other, right? Like I said last time. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So myself Rishi Lal. My
Okay.
name is Rishi
Hello,
Lal
sir.
from Kerala. Okay. Working in Kerala PWD as assistant engineer.
Okay.
I'm doing this course for enhancing my knowledge only.
Okay. Good to have you, sir. We'll be obviously looking forward to listening to your experiences. Yeah. Anybody else?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
My
ma'am.
name is Prerna Bastewar. I'm from Maharashtra, studying in civil engineering final year from Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
You will like this session as this whole course was recorded in classroom sitting only for dual degree students. So the context of the live, the recorded lessons and these sessions, I hope they are useful for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anybody else joining us for the first time? See, guys, I am not asking you to turn on your cameras. I won't be doing it. But you will have to turn on your mics, and if we discuss, the session will move forward very smoothly. Otherwise, there will be hiccups. Yeah, it can be monologue kind of session also. So last time at the end of session, yeah,
Excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir, how are those recorded lecture different from this online lecture?
okay. So the recorded lectures were in the classroom sitting first of all, and this is supposed to be a problem solving session. But like when you get assignments and you face some trouble in solving the assignments, or you need some help to prepare for your exams, these sessions were planned in that manner, so that weekly you can also recap. So how is this session planned is that we will be recapping whole contents in different questions similar to what you can see in your exams. One more thing is that when there is a classroom sitting, you are free to ask questions, you are free to discuss all those inputs, you can use your gray matter. But in live in recorded sessions, it might be that there was something that you needed to discuss and you didn't, so this session can be helpful in that manner. Yeah, I saw
Sir,
raised
will we
hand.
get any access of this recording session?
Yeah, can you see it in chat box right now? I have uploaded last week's recording, and on the same YouTube channel, I'll be uploading each recording. Can you guys see it, or do I need to post it? Post it again? Okay, I just saw a raised hand. So, would anybody like to say something? Uh, okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
doubt is from me.
Yeah.
That this problem is not related to this subject. I have already registered total fees about this, but I have to add one more course. But there is a problem. Could not go further for the steps. So from where I should get help?
Okay. So this seems like a technical problem, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, I had uploaded documents through caste certificate, like SC category.
Okay.
So I had uploaded that caste certificate. After that, it had gone for the verification. But I'm trying from last 3 days, but it not going further. So what should I do?
Okay, for these kind of situations, you have to directly write to NPTEL team because they are well versed to how to deal with these.
Okay, sir.
Because my access is also limited to the course and course contents. Okay, so let's try to move on to some questions. We'll be starting in the similar manner, some simple questions, and then moving on to what you can say some tougher ones. Okay, so the question is in front of you. True or false? Five statements. Which of the following are true and which are false? The everybody knows about PDCA cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so PDCA cycle is a four-step iterative process used for continuous improvement. There is a term continuous improvement here. The check stage in the PDCA cycle involves evaluating progress. Okay, let's go statement by statement. Is the first statement true?
Yes.
Okay, I heard one yes, so I'll be going with it. This one is true. What about second? The check stage in the PDCA cycle involves evaluating progress against the project schedule. Obviously, evaluating something
Yes,
against
sir.
it is true again, right? The do stage is where project managers identify project objectives and set clear goals. What about
False.
this?
False.
False.
Why false?
So
That's
because
the
in the
part
do
of
stage we
planning.
have to execute.
Okay,
Planning stage. That's the
yeah.
part of.
So instead of this, this should have been plan stage, right? What about next? The PDCA cycle stands for plan, do, check, action.
It's act or action. Not confusing
Like
or
So is it true or false?
it is false.
False. It should be act, right?
Yes.
Maybe it's just like bal ki khal nikalna, but we'll
Yes.
be
Yes.
but the meaning is same actually.
yeah,
Meaning is same.
yeah. We'll be sticking to the terminologies that were given by Deming, right? Okay. So what about the last statement? Continuous improvement is not a significant aspect of the PDCA cycle.
False.
Okay, what is continuous improvement? If you're saying that this is false, what do you mean by continuous improvement?
Continuous improvement is like improvement in every stage of a project's life cycle. In PDCA only, we have to first plan, then again
Okay,
do execute, and then again check. If there is any discrepancies there, then again we have to plan for that. So it imparts continuous improvement in the whole life cycle of a project.
uh, okay. So do elaborate on. Do we apply PDCA on each stage or on the overall project? Like you have got four stages: plan, do, check, act. So and you have got 4 5 stages in project also phases.
Hmm.
So do we apply PDCA on the whole project or on each stage, each phase?
Basically, it start from planning stage itself, and in the meantime, in the execution stage, if there is any change order or something like that, then again we have to apply PDCA. This is what I think about.
Okay. One thing you can keep in mind is that PDCA is a process improvement technique, and each and everywhere when you are doing something, you are following some process. Even if it's a planning stage, closure stage, execution stage, there are some processes going on, right? So you can
Yes.
apply PDCA for each and every stage. Okay, so this statement is false. It is uh, it is an important aspect. So during the act stage of the PDCA cycle, project managers do what? You are acting now. What to do? Develop a contingency plan, execute the project plan, analyze the results and data, make data driven decisions, revise the project schedule. What do you do at the act stage? Okay, you can.
Execute the project plan thing.
Okay, act is execute. I mean, you can link it directly. But any other answer?
I think it should be C, analyze the result and data.
Okay, analyze the results and data. We have got one more part. Anything else? See, it is just a four-stage cycle, right?
Like the act stage, like that can be done right after planning, or that can be done right after, like after monitoring as well.
Okay, let's see what the cycle talks about. Okay, we have plan, after plan we have do, then we have check, then we have act, and after act, again as it is a cycle, we have plan. We are talking about this stage. So what should this be? See, what you are doing here is after checking if you found something or if there is some discrepancy or whatever it is going all right, you make decisions here in the act stage. Okay, you plan for something, you execute it, then you check whether it happened like it was planned, and from that analysis you take some decisions on what to do next or what should happen, should you store the data, anything. So act stage is basically making data driven decisions. Okay, data driven decisions, what do you mean by this?
The decisions based on the data that we have get.
Okay, so are there any decisions that are not based on data?
No, the revised data.
Okay, revised data. So if you are making decisions based on the existing data, does it, I mean, what is the difference here?
So the new data is like improvement itself. And if we are not getting the any revised data, then there will be no need of PDCA cycle.
Okay.
Like the existing data, can be a part of the previous project that was in action, but that can be applicable to the present project as well. But after we have done some monitoring and checking, we will obtain a fresh data, then we can combine both, and then we can analyze further.
Okay, I mean, that is well put, but in so many terms. Anybody else? I mean, you got the idea, everybody, from both of these descriptions. Anybody would like to put it succinctly? Or any other version of data driven decisions? I mean, what is the opposite of data driven decision?
Like
Okay.
opposite of data driven decision will be some random decision like hit and trial.
Some random. Maybe what you said for the first time. I mean, it could be experience driven or knowledge driven decisions, right? But related to the past issues,
Yeah,
or making decisions based on
similar
instincts,
kind of yeah.
right? Okay, we'll see this in detail because we'll be discussing data driven decision making all over the course. Okay, so which of the following are benefits of using the PDCA cycle in project management? Enhanced risk management, faster project execution, continuous improvement culture, greater stakeholder engagement, improved quality assurance. Okay, let me change it to which of the following are not the benefits. Enhanced risk management. If you are checking at each stage, making data driven decisions, definitely you are reducing your risk, right? So, this is a benefit. What about faster project execution? Is faster project execution a benefit of PDC cycle?
No, sir. Because in each stage we have to apply the PDCA cycle.
Sir, I can't hear you clearly. Can you please come closer to the mic?
No, sir, because in each stage we have to apply PDCA cycle, which ultimately increase the duration of the project.
Okay. I mean, you have got added steps now at each stage, so it will take time. But I won't say in those terms, but it's like you are not crashing the schedule anyway, right? Whatever the schedule that you had in the starting, you are following the same. You are not crashing it, so it can't execute the project faster. What about next? Continuous improvement culture we saw in the definitions. What about uh, greater stakeholder engagement?
Yes, sir. It is. I think it is a right. It is a benefit of PDCS.
Okay, if you are discussing if it is continuous improvement, you have to talk to each and everybody.
Each and every stakeholders.
Yeah. What about improved quality assurance? Again, similar to enhanced risk management, right?
Yes, that will be also the benefit.
Okay. Uh, just give me a moment. Yeah. Now this is some general trivia because you are reaching. Okay. Who is known as the father of scientific management or time management that we have been studying? Four options. If you want, I can give you lifelines also.
I think it's option C.
Option C. Why so?
Because he is the first one who uses the Gantt chart in the manufacturing of scale.
Okay, so because he gave similar concept to bar chart before Henry Gantt, right?
Yes.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, this was not supposed to be a general knowledge session, so I will just say the answer is F.W. Taylor. Okay, so you know Henry Gantt from bar charts, right?
Yes, sir.
So this Taylor fellow is actually known as the father of scientific management. He has given four principles that you can check, and you will say that it is applicable till now also. He was the supervisor of I mean, Gant was Taylor's student. Now, this person, you know that Polish person who gave uh, primitive version of bar chart. What about this fellow, Peter F. Drucker? Okay, so while Taylor is known as father of scientific management, he is known as father of modern management. So this is like this person's work is quite recent. You will about management theory that you actually apply in offices right now. His work would be like 1980s, 1990s period. Okay, so moving on to some good things. Arrange the following project time management processes in the correct sequence. Project time management processes. Any question about these terms? Okay, so you have got six processes: estimate activity duration, develop schedule, define activities, control schedule, sequence activities, plan schedule management. What would you do first? Okay, I would start it for you. Uh,
I think defined activities should be the first.
okay, define activities. I have got one. Others? What should be the next?
After that, sequence activities E.
Sequence activities. Then
Then A.
then
Estimate activity durations.
okay.
F.
Which one?
Plan schedule management.
Okay, after A we have got F, right? Okay. Anybody else? Next.
D should be last, I think.
Okay, D should be last. Then that means E should be in the middle. No, not E, which is remaining B.
No, D should be last. I am saying that.
Yeah, so if D is last, which is remaining?
B.
B. Okay, no. What you do is you plan it, what you actually want to do. Right? Initiation phase, planning phase. Even before talking about activities, defining the activities, you have to plan for it, right? You have to think that, okay, I have to do this thing. So, and what should be my inputs, what should be my outputs, how I am going to make the I mean, how am I going to manage time in the project, that has to be planned. So F comes first. After that, we have got similar order. You define the activities, you sequence the activities, right? One, two, three. Now you have got activities defined in sequence. But what about if it is time management? How much time will it take? So you have got A. After that, we have got we should develop the schedule and then control it.
Okay.
Okay. Any question about this? Anybody who doesn't agree?
So E and A can both be reversed. Like first we estimate the activity duration, then sequence it, because that seems more apt to me.
Uh, okay. So you will be here for the whole session, right? This session. Can I assume that?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So we will come to your question when we prepare a bar chart.
Okay, sir.
Can you remember till then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we'll see it in bar chart.
Mhm.
Okay. So definition of WBS in front of you. What is WBS? What is the full form?
C.
C
D, sorry, D.
or D?
Yeah, D.
D, right? I mean, it's a structure, or sometimes we just call it work breakdown. Okay, I will give you a, I mean, 10-15 seconds just to go through the definition. So let me highlight it for you. Hierarchical decomposition, total scope of the work, what to do to accomplish the project objectives, and what it gives to create the required deliverables. Any question on these? Hierarchical decomposition, covering total scope to accomplish the project objectives and create the required deliverables. What is the difference between project objectives and required deliverables?
So, like objectives can be completed after the deliverables are created.
Okay, I
Like
mean,
they provide the means to complete the objective, like for fulfilling the objectives.
okay, yeah, that seems fine. Anybody else? Yeah, deliverables is how you actually accomplish your objectives. We'll see some more questions related to WBS. So WBS represents all product and project work, including project management work. What does the 100% rule mean in the context of WBS? I know this is total theory about WBS, so I will just give you. We saw that it is a hierarchical decomposition, right? So, whatever you are at the lowest level, it should keep on rolling up towards one. Like it has to be a tree kind of a structure, and there can be no dangling. Like if at lower level you have something, it has to be attached to somewhere up, and so that nothing is left out and no extra work is performed, right? So this is the 100% rule of how we make a WBS. So now a couple of true false questions very fast. WBS is a technique used for dividing and subdividing the project scope that we saw right now as a tree. Now the level of decomposition of work packages in WBS is independent of the project size and complexity. So we saw how decomposition is happening. What is a work package, and is it independent?
I think it should be dependent. Like it should depend on how complex the project is. For example, if we have a more complex project, the WBS structure should be more detailed at each level.
Yeah, definitely. So this one is false, and this one is true. Yeah. So the lowest level of WBS is called. Right now, it was there in the previous question. What is it? A, B, C, or D? Work package. I already gave a big hint. So yeah, the lowest level which you have that you have to perform is work package. Now, how do you actually decompose the total project into work packages? These are so which of the following activities are involved? Identifying and analyzing deliverables and related work. We discussed this. Structuring and organizing the WBS. Definitely, we have been talking about that. Anytime you have to do something, plan for it. So yeah, decomposing the lower WBS levels into upper level detailed components. Uh, it's not upper level; it should be lower level detailed components, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the flow is what, top down or bottoms up? It's top down, right?
Top down.
Developing and assigning identification codes to the WBS components. Identification codes. Now something new has come up. Okay, we will see this in example. It is true. And what about this? Verifying the degree of decomposition of the deliverables.
I think that is also included.
Yeah, that is also an activity. See, you can visualize your PDCA cycle right here. Right, verifying the degree of decomposition. This is your check stage.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the WBS is how to create. What are the different approaches to create WBS? We saw that this is a top-down approach. Sorry, can't be bottom-up, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
we have. What about using organization-specific guidelines? You will see
Can
that. Yeah,
Yeah, that can be also there. Like there must be some organization that have presented some guidelines to how to create it.
Okay, so right now we are not talking about organizations such as PMI or
Yeah.
APM. These are like if you are working in XYZ organization, that
Okay.
organization could
Yeah.
have specific guidelines, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because what happens is everyone will have a different way of breaking down the whole work. Like right now, if I tell you that okay, I always start with let's prepare a sandwich. For somebody, buying the bread or even choosing which bread to buy would be a task, right?
Yes, sir.
But for others, it would be just like, okay, whatever is available, I have this bread, I don't even want to think about it. So, for manageable work package, for somebody, he has to decide which bread to buy, which shop to go to. For somebody else, it might not even matter.
Yes, sir.
So, you have to use the specific guidelines. And similarly, you have to use templates so that if one person creates a WBS, another can read it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we come to another one more thing. What does the WBS dictionary provide detailed information about? We talked about making a WBS, and we talked that it can be different for different people. People can use different words also, right? So if you explain each and every component in the WBS and have the fixed terminology, everybody would be on the same page, right? So that's why organizations theoretically also have WBS dictionary. So here is an example of work breakdown structure for an IT park. It is from construction project management book by Professor Kane Jha. He is also my PhD supervisor. Okay, so giving you a couple of minutes to have a look at this, then we will try to replicate it. See what you have at the top. You have the whole project, right? Construction of IT park. Then what did you do? You divided into, let's suppose the IT park had 3 towers and some road works with area development works. You divided into specific streams, right? You would say that for each tower you have to perform civil works, plumbing and sanitary works. So why are we dividing it into different towers? Anybody? Why are we dividing this into different towers? Or
To manage the project more efficiently.
okay, manage the project more efficiently. See what they did right here is that they broke it down into bigger deliverables, right? We will deliver project tower 1, tower 2 and tower 3. You can think of on these lines also, right? So what happened next? You have got civil works, architectural finishing, plumbing, sanitary. In civil works again you have got earthwork, RCC and CC works. So can you follow this work breakdown structure? Any questions on this? Any questions? Okay, so it seems that you are well versed with how to make a WBS. So here is your task. Prepare WBS for a road construction project. Okay, how many of you don't want to go through this activity? See, we can skip and move forward also. That is an option. It's a democracy after all. Okay. Last time also we did an activity on road construction project, right? Discussing the stakeholders.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys were there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So help me prepare a WBS.
Scope of projects are first level one. That
Okay,
is
level 1 should be scope of project.
uh,
What else? Okay, let me bring you back to this one.
yes, sir.
Can you compare it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what should be should this be scope, or we can just write the whole project here?
Whole project name can be also there.
Okay. What next? Let's break it down.
I mean, we can break this into the chainage. मतलब, chainage level, we can also break it down into chainage levels, means from 0 to 50, 50 to 100. That depends on how much kilometers we are want to do,
Okay,
like that.
chainage. Uh, Next, or what should be in parallel to this?
This,
Okay,
can we
see,
include here pre-construction stage, like all paperwork, tendering, allotment of the paper,
uh, okay,
or simply we can go to on construction one?
see.
Hmm.
Okay, this is a good question. Should we include pre-construction processes in WBS or not? See, you have already gone through sufficient theory about WBS to be in the
Yes.
to be able to answer this question. Everybody. Should we include the pre-construction processes or not?
I think then that can be included.
Sorry, right. I mean, excuse me, I'm not dealing with can right now. Yes or no?
Like in this case, I think it should be included. Like it is to be included in this case.
Okay. Let me bring you back to a couple of slides. I'm not going there. I will just remind you. We talked about 100% coverage, right?
Yes, sir.
So for 100%, should we include this or not? I mean, if some processes, some pre-construction process are not done, we haven't broken it down into doable work packages. There are chances that you might miss something, right?
So yeah, so that should be included.
Okay.
We will include, sir, pre-construction process, because in pre-construction process one important point is of LA, land acquisition, comes under pre-construction process. So it will go throughout the project. So we have to include this process according to me.
Okay. Sir, what if LA has already been completed for this project? Or this was what you can say a private road project that didn't need LA?
So then we'll not include pre-construction process, because WBS is also depends on the conditions and the type of projects we are dealing with. If
Okay.
it is a PPP project, sir, then we have to include it, because all planning, designing is been done by the contractor. So we have to include all these things.
Okay. So this brings me to again the slide that we had. Anybody would want an explanation for this slide? I know this is repetitive. It might become boring for you guys. What happened is again we just went deep into problem. So let me try something else. Uh, okay, anybody who would like to remind me what we discussed last session? Yeah, what did we discuss last session? Okay, we talked about NITs. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is the project that for which you have to make a WBS. So the people who are already working on site, where can I get this information?
From the website of NHAI or from the tendering
Sir,
website.
can you please speak louder or come closer to mic?
Sir, from NHAI website or the tendering website.
Okay, NHI or tendering website. So I would tell you that
Also, I think there is a portal or something like such as CPP portal. I'm not sure about it.
Sir, for this we have to download the tender document. From there we'll get all the information related to this project.
okay, from where can we download the tender documents?
From their official site, sir.
Okay, official site. Uh, okay, so as you have heard that there are multiple modes, but right now you will find all the tenders aggregated in on one portal,
CPP portal.
e-tenders, right? That is the
Yes.
tendering
Okay, sir.
portal. Anybody who is not familiar with that portal? Okay, so I have got this. Let's see what all information does NIT have. Yeah, there were guys who asked for some real case study last time. Is anybody of that group here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is just an example that I brought of NIT that we discussed. Uh, what you have got here is as chainage. Sir mentioned that we can divide the project as per the chainage, and this is package one of the whole corridor. So that means that even the whole project would have been divided into multiple packages. so that there can be concurrent construction. What else have you got in the NIT? You have got the authority who published it, then you have got the location, then you have got what is the mode, what would be the payment mode, HAM. Anybody not familiar with HAM? Okay, then what else have you got? Uh, you have got total construction length 74 kilometers and estimated project cost excluding GST. What would be the GST on these kind of projects? uh, Full form of HAM, hybrid annuity model. Somebody from the previous class, would you like to elaborate on HAM model, HAM model? Okay, do you want me to explain what HAM is? Okay, so we have got
Yes, sir. Please explain HAM.
yeah, so we have got two very common ways of how the projects are financed. One is EPC, or where you just construct it and the client pays you, right? And the another one is where you construct it, you operate it for some time and get back your cost, like we see in highways. uh, Highways are constructed and for some time you run the contractor runs the tolls and collect his dues from there. And in some cases government may just say that okay, you build it, and through running bills and final bills the contractor is paid. So hybrid, this is a hybrid model. And how is the payment done? Annuity. So what we do is government will say okay, let's suppose that 40% of the cost we will give it to you, and the rest 60% you have to cover up through tolls. So in that way they both share the risk. And this is kind of the model where performance, see, toll is based on performance of the highway, right? If more traffic is there would be more toll. What if in conditions where the performance is very low? In this case, in ham mode, government also covers some risk about that. Okay, so ham mode on the basis of DBOT, design, build, operate, and transfer. It has been given in the NIT. Now let's see what other information do we have.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what is the difference between DBFOT and HAM?
Uh,
Design, build, finance, operate, and transfer.
okay. Who is financing it?
For example, in Ganga Expressway, it is financing by the company Adani, who want the bid himself.
Okay. And how will this company earn whatever it has invested in the project?
Uh, uh, they will operate the whole expressway for 30 years. They will collect all the tolls and all.
Yeah. So what? So in this case, if the company doesn't, if the government will be handed over the project only after 30 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what if the government comes and says, okay, 40% of the project cost we will give it to you right now? Does the contractor needs to operate it for 30 years again, or can it be done in 17, 18 years now?
No, I think it's for 30 years only.
Yeah, no,
No extension.
that I agree. But what I'm giving you is an alternate scenario. Let's say that the
Hmm.
government says that if your project cost was 2,000 crores, the
Hmm.
government is ready to pay 800 crores after the completion of the project, and
Hmm.
rest 1,200 crores the company has to earn.
Hmm.
So in that, the contractor is also beneficial, na? It is beneficial for the contractor. He doesn't have to wait
Yes.
for 30 years, right? He
Yes.
can
Hmm.
get all the cost in 18 years or so. And government is also happy that government is not obliged to pay everything at the end of the construction.
Yes.
So in cases where let's suppose uh, the company built the expressway and now public doesn't want to use it, new other way of transportation comes or something else happens, what then? Or let's suppose the company doesn't have enough capital right now to keep it invested for 30 years. They would be looking for earlier options, right?
Yes.
So in that case, ham mode has been introduced, and this is this is primarily used in India only. Okay, so let's see what other information we have. We have got when can you download, from where can you get the tenders, complete bid document, for what is the duration, then how can you submit the bid, and it is also saying that the technical submission of bids shall be opened on 21. What next? What other things are given? Some details are given about and okay, so this is like bidding related details from NIT. Let me bring you to the top. Now can you work out the our main thing WBS from this, or do you need more information? See, I have got all the details you will ask for. Do you need more information, or can you do it right now? Okay, do you know if you have to, if the contractor has to build any, sorry, yeah.
Sir, the type of payment, is it flexible payment or rigid payment, sir?
Mm, where can you find this information?
Sir, in tender document or maybe in NIT, sir, it should be.
No, NIT you went through. Is it telling anywhere what kind of payment is it?
No, sir.
Okay, so what else do you need to read for this? Maybe
Tender
some
document.
tender document, maybe some what can you say, technical documents addition, in addition to this.
Okay.
Technical document, commercial document,
Okay,
any
commercial.
annexures attached to it, deliverables.
Okay. Uh, do you need traffic signage plan for this? Just
So,
yeah,
so I'm so sorry. What we intend to do, we intend to do to create a work breakdown structure, right?
yeah, definitely.
For this project, construction of 4-lane greenfield
Yes.
corridor, right? Okay.
Okay. So right now, as you can see, if we let me take you back to that IT example, IT park example, and we will try to compare.
Fine.
Okay. I don't know what's happening here. I can't. Uh, Just a moment. Okay, are we back to the slides? Can you guys see the slide again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we have to work it out similar to, if you have to work out the road project similar to this, okay, so you can have it, you can have the division by chain edges. For each chain edge, what we have in towers, you can have it in chain edges, whole 75 kilometer. Or what you can have is, you can have roadworks. Let's make this level, okay, roadworks. Then definitely there would have been some structures. uh, it could be flyover, it could be viaducts, it could be VUPs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then there would be some horticulture. Then you would obviously
Other
have
utility, other utility buildings like maybe pumping stations or kind of that.
okay, utilities. Then similar to it, you would have markings or lighting, right? Marking, lighting. What else? Pre-construction. Pre-construction mainly LA and road clearing and all those things. So for all these works, let's suppose if you are taking structural, then structural would be similar to what you see here in buildings, right? Or would it be or would it be something different?
I think some components wouldn't be there, like piling works would not be there.
Okay. So which of the above, which of the listed ones do you want to discuss further? We just we just are at level 2, right? Road works, structural work, horticulture, utilities, and pre-construction processes. Which one should we elaborate on?
Roadworks.
Uh, okay, so road works. How will you break it down further?
Excavation.
Excavation.
Sir, instead of excavation, can we put there earthwork? Because it's a road construction here, excavation or filling, or both can come. No?
Uh, okay, so let's have earthwork. What else?
Leveling. Leveling. Surveying.
Sub
Uh,
base, maybe sub base based construction.
uh, okay, so can we have it in these terms? Let's say we can have road works as preparation,
Hmm.
then construction
Hmm.
and finish. Can we have like this?
Yes.
And
Bro-
again for,
broadly, we can put.
yeah, again for preparation you can have let's say markings, survey, like, and in
Hmm.
survey
Yes,
you
sir.
can have both center line and the edges, right? Including
Hmm.
what should be the road level,
Hmm.
right? 2D, 3D. Um, then similar to it, what else can you have in preparation? In
Soil compaction, I don't know. Compaction is activity.
uh,
Laying of layers or like that.
okay, let's make sure this construction is our layer. Okay, uh, how many layers? Uh, Sub base we are prepared. We have prepared here. So whatever the layers you are placing, subgrade. Let it be any uh, WBM, or what are the layers? 4 5 layers. Can you name it?
Subgrade comes GSB. After that, sir, WMM. Then BC. Then
Okay.
after that, wearing coat if required.
Okay.
So sub-base, granular sub-base, then cement treated sub-base, then WMM, wet mix macadam, then we have our prime coat of asphalt, then we have DBM,
Uh,
then we have bitumen coat.
okay. So we have got another level. Same in finishes. You can have markings and all, right?
Mm.
Markings, signage,
Roadside landscaping.
landscaping. Let us have it different head itself.
Maybe the
Landscaping,
pavement.
pavement. I'm not getting it. Where should pavement come?
Maybe the side layer of the road,
Uh, okay, curbs
not
and
in
all.
case of force. Yeah, yeah. I don't think
Uh,
so. It's matter.
so curbs again. You can have it in construction or finishes, right?
Mm.
See, in this example itself, you can see that uh, as the I was the one writing it. It gave me a lot of power, tremendous power on to decide which terms to use, what should be the breakdown structure, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's better to have a WBS dictionary so that everybody is on the same page.
Mm.
And if we see that this roadwork was our level 2, right? L1,
Mm.
L2, then came our finishes level, this preparation, construction, finish. This was L3. We have come to L4 till these layers. Let's say we are talking about bituminous concrete. How will we further break it down? You can again break it
Maybe
down
the
into activities, right? I mean, bringing in the material, preparing the material from the hot mix plant, transporting it, laying it, compacting it, right?
correct.
So
So like we have to keep on decomposing it like until we obtain some very basic activities.
yeah, see, you have to keep on breaking it down till you get the work package. What do you mean by a work package? Work package is something that you can say, you can give it to one person or one team that you do it, and it doesn't need to be broken down again.
Broken further.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
See the
similar, yeah,
so the purpose of maybe the work breakdown structure is so that we can monitor. It is important,
um,
and it should not miss that activity all put together.
okay. Sir, you directly went to monitoring stage. What about planning?
Yeah,
Well,
correctly. I perfectly okay.
yeah,
Broadly, we can capture in planning portion, but the moment we get into the monthly plan or the quarterly plan, we break down further.
yeah. See, WBS is something that you keep it in front of you for the whole duration of the project.
Correct.
In the planning stage, also, it helps in breaking it down into very doable chunks, so that right now you can say that there is not a single definition of how we have broken it down.
Mm-hmm.
While we have compared it like roadworks to landscaping, in
Mm-hmm.
going into steps, it could be different layers. Now, if you come into different layers, you will say that uh, for subgrade layer also you will have transportation of material, you will have placing of the material, you will have compacting. For
Mm-hmm.
bituminous concrete also you will have the same steps,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you separate it? How do you bifurcate these things? You give them some codes that we saw,
Correct. Correct.
right? As you can
Got
see
it.
here. So this is what I wanted to point out.
Sir, I have one question regarding the levels in the WBS, sir.
Yes.
What I have gone through is that only we can only have four levels. Like level one is your project level, level two sub project level, level three is your work packages, and four is your activity.
Okay.
So only we have to construct our WBS in these four levels, or we can further elaborate into level five or six also.
Sir, I have one question. Who
Yes, sir.
told you to break it down into four levels?
So I have so far learned and read in the books, na?
Okay, so let
Like
me.
I have used P6, Primavera P6 in that. So the faculty used to tell us the four levels. That's why I know.
Yeah, so I guess where did it go? Uh, just a minute. We discussed it here. Yeah, these two terms. WBS template, what you're talking about is that when the tutor or when someone finalizes that, okay, I will have only four levels and defines the four levels, you have got WBS templates, or some
Okay.
organization specifies
Hmm.
the definition. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you can have it more than four, you can have six, eight, whatever you want, but how you are breaking it down, it has to be useful for everybody. Everybody can be able to use, and everybody can understand if somebody is preparing it.
Okay.
So, does this answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Basically,
So,
we are trying to decompose the whole project until we get some fundamental activities,
yeah. Uh, and our see, why do we need to break it down into smaller chunks?
so that everything is uh, forecasted
Or
beforehand.
ease.
Like uh, everything is included in our plan. Nothing is missed out.
Okay, nothing is missed out, and I heard just ease. Someone was saying about ease.
For ease of work, sir, we used to break down all the project into
Yeah,
the levels.
yeah. See, it not a single person is going to not a single person or team is going to perform all these tasks. So it's better to divide it and how to manage it, how to plan for it. WBS kind of helps. It is hierarchical structure and helps us in covering the whole scope. And I mean, I can't go into much theory than this because it finally becomes how do you want to manage it, how do you want to plan your work, that defines how are you going to create your WBS.
So
Uh,
I have a question.
yeah.
What is the limit till that we need to break down? Level 4, level 5, level 6, or what? It based on certain thing, right?
Uh,
Maybe, I don't know what, activity duration, maybe the thing which.
I think number of levels. I think to me, number of levels that depends on the complexity of the project. For example, if we have a more complex project, the levels will be more. For example, 8 or 9.
Hmm,
If we have a
correct.
simpler project, the levels will be 400. But ultimately, the task of this WBS structure is to identify the fundamental activities itself.
Hmm.
yeah.
Agree.
Yeah,
Fine.
rightly put. Okay. So, any questions till this part? Anything else before we move on to our next question? People who joined late, anybody who joined late would want some recap of what happened. Okay, we have got one raised hand. See, this is a 2 hour long session, and this kind of gives a couple of minutes breather to others because we will be moving on to another interesting thing, bar chart. So till now what we have discussed is we have discussed the overview of time management and discussed work breakdown structure. I will be sharing the slides so you don't have to worry about that part. Okay, let's come to mm, our next part for this session, bar chart. What do you mean by bar chart?
like we try to represent activities in form of a bar, and there are two axes generally, like activity description, like which activity are there, and the other axis is time axis, and then just we try to depict the whole project using this analogy.
Uh, okay, so let me just go back to what terms I heard right now. Okay, representation,
Yeah, 2D representation.
uh, 2D, so two axis, right?
Yeah, two axis, activity, time,
Activity and time.
horizontal bars.
Okay, horizontal bars.
Yeah,
Visual depiction. So I think representation में आ जाता है.
Okay, visual representation. Let us make it like this. Okay, horizontal bars. Which axis is which one? Time and activity. X and Y. Tell me.
Time is in x-axis and activities on the y-axis.
Okay. Mm, anything else about bar charts? Tell me, do you guys prepare bar charts in your real life? I mean, in your everyday life?
no sir, like that seems to be like time consuming to me, so that's why I don't prepare. Like I simply do to do list kind of a thing, but these bar charts I don't really think so that I mean that they can help, but I have never prepared them.
Okay. So we got one another term, to-do list. Anybody else who likes to prepare bar chart or doesn't prepare bar chart? So what is a bar chart now? We have got a alternative. It is not a to-do list, but it can be in the same family.
It will give the start date and end date
Okay, start date and end date.
of activity.
It
To-do
also
list
shows the
won't give.
progress of
To-do list will give
project.
only the task to be performed.
Okay,
Basically, it will
I generally
also
use calendar. It will help me to figure it out what activity to be planned at what date. So calendar is the best way.
okay. So what you guys are listening, don't you think all these are time management tools only?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that was one term I was looking forward to hear. Time management tools. So we have
the
got,
project progress throughout like throughout the passage of time. That is an added advantage of using a bar chart.
okay, project progress. Yeah. Anything else? See, for the students also, this is kind of the first thing that you study in CPM. Okay, what other time management tools are there? To-do list, calendars, bar charts. What else?
Softwares which generally industries use, Microsoft Office, sorry, MS Project,
Okay,
maybe Primavera, which we generally
MSP
use.
P6. Yeah.
PERT, PERT, PERT,
Okay, part we have. What is PERT?
PERT software, just like bar chart.
That's project evaluation and review technique. Basically, that adds an probabilistic approach. Uh,
Uh, okay, so let's just delve a little. I just got the full form of PERT from someone, and this P is project or probabilistic.
this is project.
This is project, but PERT gives us a probabilistic view, right?
Yeah, probabilistic.
Anybody who is not familiar with PERT? Anybody? I mean, if you're not familiar with PERT, do let me know because I have a question about it.
think this project or program evaluation. I think program evaluation and review technique. I think that's the full form.
Okay. So is it project program? Now we have got program evaluation and review technique. Is everybody is familiar with PERT, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
So probabilistic nature. Let's say activity A has can be done in 4 days, 6 days, or 8 days.
Yeah,
Okay. Now this would be your T optimistic, T pessimistic, and T most probable.
most likely,
Yeah.
most likely time.
Okay. So let's suppose when I calculated these duration, the resources for activity A were 3. Now, what if the resources increase to 6?
I
How will
think
these
time
durations change?
time estimates they're gonna drop down.
Are they going to drop down? See, that is one thing. When you have got PERT is basically for the projects where even with the same number of resources or you don't even talk about the number of resources. You are like, okay, if I do this activity, it can be done in 4 days or 6 days or 8 days. I don't even know how much. It was developed by NASA, right?
Yeah, I think that is used for like some like R&D activities kind of a thing.
Yeah. So you will,
And
so you will
the
find
CPM
that.
is,
So
yeah,
you will
Sometime uncertain projects.
time for uncertain project, right?
yeah, time uncertainty is there.
Yeah. So you
There's a
will
limitation on critical path, basically.
okay. So you will find that whenever we are talking about PERT, whenever we are doing analysis on PERT, we don't even think about project resources. We don't even care about what resources were involved.
Okay,
So
sir.
in CPM, there would be some resource constraints coming in, but in PERT, it is always going to be resource independent. You are not taking
Hmm.
in the resources. You are just worried about, okay, it could be done in 3 days, but it can also take 12 days. That kind of a situation.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And if anybody disagrees, he is welcome to question this. I mean, with an example or something.
So like we are not we are not worrying about these resources part. So is it like that there are no resources constraint in these kind of projects that usually use PERT analysis?
Uh, you can say that. I mean, resource. See, there is going to be resource constraint because we are not in the times of where we have got unlimited resources, unlimited funds. So there is going to be some resource constraint, but for the calculation purposes, for the analysis purposes, we don't take it into account.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's come back to our track. Any other time management tool that you guys are using? Okay.
I generally use this Pomodoro technique.
Okay,
30
Pomodoro.
minutes focus.
Yeah, like there are many now Android software as well, like that are available for personal time management or productivity kind of a thing. So
Uh,
there are.
okay. So you guys do accept that time is very valuable, right? You have to manage it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I
We
have no
think of
intentions.
manage we
Yeah.
think of managing it, but we are not able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I am in no position to lecture you on time management, so I will bring you back to the contents. Okay. So we discussed what is a bar chart. Let's make some bar charts. The table is in front of you. 6 activities. You have been given start month, end month, and total cost in thousands. Can you make the bar chart? Is something missing?
I think we can make with this information only.
Okay, we can make. Let's see. We have got details for two axes, right? Activity and time, and we have got a start date and end date.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
I
make
think
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So let me just have time here. This is going to be time axis, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
In months, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And where should I place A? On top or on the bottom?
I think the way that's been represented shows that it should be placed at the top, but we don't have any like dependence relationship amongst them, so we can just place them randomly as well. But yeah, the start
On
month
top.
is given as well, so A should be at the top.
Okay, so we have got someone who wants A to be on the top. Anybody who wants A to be on the bottom, let's say it is the foundation activity happening at the start. So let's have it on the base and build up on that. See, yeah, as he uh, explained it beautifully that it doesn't matter wherever you place these activities. There is no dependence shown here, right? So, but we'll go with his convention. We'll place A on the top. So, activity A 0 to 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what we did is we made a horizontal bar for 0 to 2. Activity B, C, D, E, F. Let's just make it 1 to 4.
But it is better to place at the top only to make it easy to understand. If you put it at the bottom, it doesn't make sense. Or maybe one way, either you go from top to bottom or maybe bottom to up. Either way, not the third way.
Uh, okay, not the third way. Why not? Because it doesn't look good to you.
No, no, it does not look good to the other person. See, the bar chart purpose is too easy to explain the other person, right? If we
Uh,
make it confused, then I think that is a confusing the third one. But first and second is fine.
okay, so let's make it and see if it is giving us better visualization. And if not, we will see on
Yes,
the
sir.
third one also. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so C is 2 to 6. What about D? Uh, D is 2 to 5. Yes. You can see how good my drawing is by drawing these simple lines only. Okay, is this sufficient?
Yes, sir.
What information can you gather from this bar chart? You have a visualization of the whole table now, or any information that is not here? See, you have got a bar chart in front of you. Everybody agrees on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, is it complete? Is there any other information that you can show that you have right now and you are not showing it?
Correct, correct. It is mentioned.
Like it is depicting that, for example, we talk about the activity C and F. Like C is completing at the six, month six, and F is starting from the month six. So I'm not sure like whether it is depicting that F is dependent on C, like whether F could be started only when C is complete, or like it just played in a random way.
Uh, okay. Uh, a very valid point here. Anybody who would like to help us on this?
But dependency is not shown, right? So we don't know. It can be independent activity also.
Yeah, true. I mean,
But it
there.
shows the overlapping of activities.
That's fine. So all are independent. So it can be, one person is going there, one person is going there.
Yes, they are
Can be
independent.
anything.
They are independent, but in the project itself, the activities are overlapping to each other.
Like if they were independent, like I would have suggested that let's play all the horizontal bars right towards the origin.
Uh, okay. See, I am. So you are saying that if activities C and D start at the end of second month, they can happen only after activity A is complete, right?
Yes, sir. That is what I'm recommending. For example, let's talk about A and C only.
Yeah.
So like A is ending at month two, and then C is starting right after it. So like that is a compulsion, or it just plays in this way only, like a random way only.
Okay. So let's suppose we are talking about. We will talk about two scenarios. Okay. Uh, you are placing the subgrade of the road layer, and then you are placing the GSB. Activity A is your subgrade and activity C is your GSB. So definitely C has to follow A, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Um, but let's take another scenario. You are going to a party. Okay, so A is you arriving at the party, and C is some other person starting from his home to and coming to the party.
Yes, sir.
So you can reach
Yeah.
there at 2 hours, and another party might even start from his home after 2 hours.
So
Is
yeah,
there any
arrival
connection?
of both of us are independent.
Both of you are independent, right?
Yeah.
The problem here is that the bar chart is not giving you any information.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So that
About
is,
the nature of activities.
yeah, about the nature of activities, their dependencies.
Hmm.
Okay, so uh, if we agree that this is the correct bar chart, let's see the next question. Okay, I am not able to copy the ink annotations. So, what is the total duration and cost of the project? See, these questions are quite similar to what you get in assignments and exams.
Total duration, like it will be
9 months.
8 month.
eight
Total
months,
duration is 8 month.
and just
Okay, 8 months and total cost.
I just wanna sum up them.
Summation
Like
of all. Summation of all. Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you need bar chart for this information? On
for the
saying that
cost.
total duration would be 8 months and cost would be 54.50 lakhs, right? So did you need bar chart for this information?
I think this 8 month duration cost and the total cost, that these both information we have it anyways.
Yeah.
uh, but basically what bar chart is showing is when are the scheduling part, like when are different activities starting and ending and their duration as well.
Okay, so
So
you
how is the
can,
basically how is the project progressing
yeah,
forward.
so you can say that it doesn't give you the cost of the project. Bar chart won't help you in that. And
No,
total
sir.
duration, if
It
somebody is,
require.
yeah, and if somebody has already written that okay activities are ending at 8th month, you will know that the total duration is 8 months, right? If it
Yeah.
were not written, like it would have written that okay, activity F starts and at end of month 6 and continues for 2 months, then you would have said okay, bar chart will give me the total duration. So you can see this question is just to give you an idea that bar chart is not answering a lot of things for us, even the basic ones. So now coming to this part. Yeah. Are you saying something?
But sir, it tells about the expenditure month wise.
Month-wise expenditure. Really? So let me bring you back to this. How is it showing me month-wise expenditure?
So what is this total cost that for activity A?
Yeah.
Like for second month, up to second month.
Yeah, for completely performing the activity A, your total cost is 400,000 crores. Sorry, 400,000. I mean, hearing all the political speeches, I have started talking in thousands of crores nowadays. Yeah, 400,000.
So won't we say that after the completion of 6 months, yeah, after passing of 6 months, the company would invest after totaling all the A, B, C, and D activities? Is it like that?
Uh, Sorry. I mean, can you please repeat?
Sir, by seeing the month,
Yeah.
completion of month, can we able to tell the expenditure?
Uh,
Basically, I think he's trying to say that what if we are trying to represent this cost thing as well in this
okay.
chart only?
So let's see it in numerical form itself. That would be better, right?
Okay, sir.
So let me just copy this table.
I think the sinking part won't copy,
Yeah, that is giving
but
me.
I'm not sure. Like if you do escape this slide, I think that is safe, but I'm not sure.
Uh, yeah, maybe I'll just start with the start with the table itself. Then we'll see. Uh, yeah. So, did you remember the question we have? Where is it?
Yeah,
Yeah. What is the cost incurred for each month of the project duration? Prepare cumulative cost versus time curve. Can we do this? Can we do this activity or not?
yeah, we can do that.
How?
Like
Please give me the
we have
steps.
like just make two dimension like the time in months and the total and the cost of each activity, and we can just plot them by totaling it. Like for example, for first A 400 and then up to B, so 400 plus 1200, and then sum the other three till we achieve the total cost. So that will give us a plot, right, starting from the activity A
Uh,
and the variation of cost till the
okay.
activity F.
Okay. So let's try to do what you just said. Two axes, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and each activities A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you have to divide the cost. How I am going to divide the cost? That part I missed. 400 is the total cost that is incurred over 2 months of periods, right? 2 month here,
Yes.
3 month here. Again, what is this? 4 months here, 3 months, 3 months, and 2 months, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how is this cost incurred? 400.
Like at the end of the second month, this is 400, and at the end of the fourth month, like it is 400 but plus 1200, so 1600, like that.
Yeah, but see, the question here is cost incurred for each month. Can you give that information? Like each month, then what is the expenditure at the end of first month?
Okay, for each month, like
Yeah.
we can do an assumption that that's distributed uniformly
Okay.
over 2 months.
So
So like for if
let
that
me.
assumption is valid, so then only
So assumption is uniform distribution, right?
yeah, uniform or linear.
Yeah. So for each and everybody, whatever assumption you are making, it you have to list it down, and if it is correct, if it is okay, you will see it in your final results. Yeah, in this case, as you have not been given any other uh, any other variation of how the cost is changing, like let's suppose if somebody says that for activity A, 20% of the cost in first month and 80% of the cost in second month,
Yeah.
then you would have divided it. But in this case, no such information is provided to you.
So
So,
we can just go by half, like
so
half
you
at
have
the
got
first month.
uniform distribution as assumption, and we'll move on with this. So that means for activity 1, and is a 2-month duration, 400 expenditure, so 200 and 200 each, right?
Yes, sir.
Similarly for activity B, 400, right? Can you see that it also follows the same bar chart we had?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, similarly for activity C, 500. Activity D, how much is it?
That's total is
2 to 5.
900. So 2 to 5 days.
300, right?
Uh,
Yes, sir. 3,
Okay,
300,
what
300.
about activity E?
5 to 8.
5 to 8, and how much? 250.
Yes, sir.
And for activity E F, it seems 100, right?
100.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can you calculate the cost incurred each month?
Yes,
Just
sir.
just go
Yeah,
into
definitely.
sum, right?
Yes, sir. So at the first month, at the end of first month, maybe it's 200,
200,
and then
600,
yeah,
600, then
1200,
how much? 12 or 13?
1200,
Okay.
1200, 800, 750, 350, 350.
Yeah. It is it totaling up to 5450? Yeah, I guess so.
I think at the second month, like so it will be 800. I think at the end of second month.
Yeah, total consumption should be 800. I mean, because you said na that it is a uniform distribution.
Yeah. Okay. We are referring to like for the 1 day only. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are here doing for each month. We are not calculating
Yeah.
cumulative.
Each
For
month. Yeah.
cumulative, it will be 800.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Uh, okay. So if the question here was that you also have to make the S curve.
Yes, sir.
So cumulative
So
cost, or let's say cost percent even. You would be happy with percentage also, right?
yes, sir.
So
Maybe we
what
can
is
first calculate the cumulative cost and then the percentage. That makes
uh,
a better representation.
okay? So let's do that way. So cumulative cost would be 200,
Yeah.
800, 2000, 3200, 4000, 4750, 5150, or 5100, 5200.
5-1.
Yeah, and this is like 5450.
5450.
So yeah, that's verified as well.
Yeah, and what about the cumulative percent? 200.
So
You will have to use calculator. This comes up to be 3.7.
14.67.
Okay, 14.7. Similarly, this one 36.7. Uh, let's just add it up for this. 58.7. 7. Yeah. 73.4. What about these values? Okay, obviously I'm writing this as 100%. I don't think anybody should have question about this. Yeah. Uh, Anybody was cross checking the rest of the values?
So yeah, first 87 is also fine, and just checking the.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So can we plot the S curve now?
Yes, sir. Like if we are trying to represent on the vertical axis from zero, starting from zero.
Okay, so let me put some
Yeah,
percentage here itself. 40, 60, 80, and 100. So at the end of 1 month we are still at uh,
3 point.
3.7%. Then we
Yeah.
have gone to 14%, 15%. Wait. Then here we are up to almost 36%. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
very near to 60. Then for this one, 73, 87. So 87 would be somewhere around here. 93 would be here, and that would be 100.
Yes, sir.
So let's try to just. So can you see the S curve now?
Hmm.
Uh, so what is the use of this S curve?
Basically, we are trying, like we can monitor the like how the cash is actually flowing throughout the life cycle of the project.
Okay. Anything else?
Maybe we can, try to find out slope at some points, and maybe we can monitor the rate of cost that is occurring at each stage.
Uh,
But
okay.
that needs to be, that the data will serve for any purpose.
Okay. What purpose? I mean, you just gave me a data point, the slope of the S curve. Are you using it anywhere? Have you seen its use?
No, I am just like I'm just thinking that it can be used, but I have not seen that.
Okay. So what else can this be used for? This is a S curve. We can use it for some elevation drawing, right? Elevation design. We got some nice S curve. Anything else? See, this is like S curve. Whatever you are plotting at this time, it would serve as a baseline.
Yes, sir.
What is a baseline?
Like it may so happen that we can have some deviation, like from this original shape of the curve.
Yeah.
Like the actual curve can deviate as well.
Okay. So it will tell you that okay, whatever where you are standing, what
Yeah.
should
So if the deviation is more, so we can just monitor that. Okay, we are running over cost or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, we have special sessions on. I mean, we will have full session on project control, so we will discuss that in detail. There was one question I told that we will discuss when we will be discussing WBS, right?
Hmm.
Yes, sir. The question that I had.
Yeah.
So that was. So yeah, sequence of activities or activity duration. So which one should be the first out of the two? Like which one should be taken first out of the two?
So right now we plotted the bar chart. What do you think? What mattered? The duration of the activity or sequence of the activity?
I think
See, your question was quite clear that okay, what should we be knowing, the sequence of the activity or the duration of the activity? When you find out that you'll see that sequencing the activities actually gives you variables that directly affect your duration of the activity. Like let's suppose there are two activities that need the same resources,
Yes, sir.
or so, and you can't, for the limited resources you can't do both activities in parallel,
Of
right?
course, sir.
So here sequencing would help you in in knowing that which resources available, and on the basis of resources you can calculate the duration of the project, right? Duration of the activity.
Yes, sir.
You would find that yeah, the first thing would be that let's sequence it, that because it is giving us more information to calculate
Mhm.
the activity duration. Yeah, so what factors affect the activity duration? Yeah, that is a good question. Let us discuss it in detail.
Uh, Availability of resource,
Okay. uh, Factors affecting activity duration, right?
yes, sir. So like first can be the nature of activity, like how big is the activity itself.
Okay, nature of activity. How big is the activity? That means quantum of work, right?
Yeah, quantum of work actually. So then maybe the productivity, like how productive we are each day.
Okay, productivity.
Then the resources,
Resources. What about resources?
like it can
Types
be,
and numbers.
yeah. So man, material, machine.
Okay, then the type of resources would affect your productivity rate.
Yes, sir. Of course, like if we have some automated kind of a thing, like the productivity will be greater,
Yeah.
and the manual, in the case of manual, it will be somewhat lesser,
Yes, definitely.
and the
uh,
number will also play a major role.
yeah. uh, what are the other factors?
Uh, Maybe some external factors like environmental conditions or delay due to some uh, external factors.
Okay, external conditions. Can you uh, cater for these external conditions while at the planning or scheduling stage, while you are determining
Yeah.
that what
So
is
a buffer for this can be included at the planning stage. But yeah, if we are doing it, we are ensuring a good planning.
yeah, so buffer.
So unforeseen, for the unforeseen circumstances, basically.
Okay, what else? Everybody, is there any factor that you don't agree with, or is there any factor that we have not written on the slide? Factors affecting activity duration.
Like maybe one can be that if whether this activity is having some other dependent activities as
uh,
well or not.
okay, how will the dependency affect the activity duration?
Like if there is a an end-to-end dependency, like the first one has to complete and then the second one has to start, so I think it won't affect the
uh,
activity duration much. But like if we have some partial kind of a thing, like some part of this has to be complete and then the other part of other activity and then again the first part, so kind
okay.
of that. So I
Sir,
think that,
you started with one good thing, end to end dependency, and then you move to, I mean, finish to finish dependency, and then you move to finish to start. So that kind of missed what you were talking about. But yeah, if it is finish to finish dependency, obviously it will affect the activity duration, and we will see this in when we do PDM scheduling.
okay, sir.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah. Any other factor? Okay.
I
So we have
think
got a list of factors affecting activity duration, and as now we have also got one factor, the dependency. You can say that okay, we have to first sequence the
Re-
activities, right?
Relationship instead of dependency, we can say.
So what is the difference between relationship and dependency in case of activities?
As in case of activities, relationship is more clear. Na? The four types of relationship: finish to start to start, like that. I was saying it's
Uh,
not a big deal, but just I am asking to you.
yeah, I mean, see, it shows, it talks about the same thing, right? If it is
Yes, sir.
dependent or not. But I will tell you why relationship is more what you can say. Yeah, we have. Okay, let us just keep it for a PDM where we will see all four types of relationships, and we will also see, do relationships mean dependency or independency, or can they be interchangeably used? You have
Okay,
to
sir.
excuse me for keeping it for the later because we will have so many diagrams there to visualize it better. Uh, okay, so now we agree on that flow also, that first sequencing and then determining the activity duration. Uh,
yes, sir.
Coming back to WBS, comment on the dependencies between different activities. Yeah, I am talking about dependencies now, not relationships.
So
So,
like we have to take go by an example, random example.
no, you have to go back to the WBS. Sorry,
Okay.
this bar chart. Can you comment on it?
So like we don't know about the nature of activity, but we are hell bent on it, like to depict some relationship. Maybe we can say that activity C, activity C is dependent on activity A
Yeah.
by looking at this chart,
See,
and similarly,
see, that is the fallacy of being a human. Okay, like, let me give you an. What is this? If you have to imagine it, will you think that this is a box? Okay,
looks to be a
I'll just,
pattern, a random pattern, like
yeah, I'll just come to.
maybe a constraint in space kind of a thing. Like that's the space constraint we have.
Okay, see, one experiment was done. Okay, the cat owners were sent a mattress where they had these two patterns drawn. Okay, as you
Okay,
can
sir.
see that there were like right angles and just turned outwards and turned inwards. So what they would see is that when you place this mat on the floor, the cat would 100% sit in this form.
Mhm.
Why? Because
Like
in,
it is appearing to be more constrained kind of a thing. Like
yeah,
there are space constraint, and the other one, like it is kind of a channelization kind of a thing.
yeah. So what what is happening is that space constraint, the cat itself is making the box, completing the box, right? And this is the tendency of humans also. Even if there are no relationships, we tend to find some relationships. Okay, this is getting too personal,
Yeah.
but you get an idea, right? This is how our brains have been formed. Like if there is a if there is a tiger behind some tree, you can't see the complete tiger, right? You are just seeing some shape, and that is covered by some leaves. Yet you determine that it is a tiger. How? Your brain completed the picture for you.
Yes, sir.
So that happens in case of bar chart also. That when you see this bar chart, even if there are no depictions of relationships, dependencies, none whatsoever, but we have been pre-programmed to look for the patterns. We will
Yes, sir,
see the
of course.
pattern that is not even there. So this is one of the cons of using bar chart. Hope you all agree with this. Anybody who doesn't like this interpretation, I mean, I can have it in another way also. Okay, so you know that the dependencies are not shown, but can they be shown? Yeah, we can have linked bar charts, right? Anybody, what is a linked bar chart? I heard people talking about MSP and Primavera, and they also visualize in terms of horizontal bars only, right? But it has linked bar chart. So what is a linked bar chart?
Maybe I can give it a guess. Like the name itself shows that linking. So if we are breaking projects in some kind of fractions, like in two or three or more fractions, so we can have a proper bar chart for first fraction and then for second fraction. So that's kind of linking. I'm
Uh,
not sure that if that's correct or not.
okay. Don't you think that would have been a hierarchical bar chart or level 1 bar chart, level 2 bar chart? See, linked bar chart here is just simple. Like we want to show the dependency, so relationship that was not visible. So we are using arrows.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that is linked bar chart. And similarly, one more modification on this bar chart was milestone chart. Like in the previous case itself, you make the milestones that we don't know where is the 50%, but let's suppose I make it that this is the 50% mark and this is the 100% mark. So you can have milestones shown on the bars that help you in monitoring.
Yes, sir.
So coming to the monitoring part, very, yeah. So at the end of 4 months, you have got the report. What to do now? Can you do it using bar chart?
Yeah, we can either go by the previous one or
Okay.
construct it.
Okay, I'll do it quickly. Maybe next time I should come prepared with all these. Uh, B was this, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm, C was, yeah, C for,
Yeah, maybe
2,
you can do just a rough.
yeah, 2 to 5.
Sir, for the same, if we want to decide the critical path, then according to you, sir, which one is the critical path for this, sir?
Uh, okay, sir, what is a critical path?
Critical path is the, sir, the longest path which we cannot delay in the project. Or
Yeah, so
I think it's shortest path.
okay, longest path
The
and shortest path. Uh, I I really request you guys to be in the next session. We will
okay, sir.
discuss both the terms. Is it
Okay,
shortest
sir.
path or longest path? And you will see that it is both. It is both the longest path and both the short and also the shortest path.
Sure, sir.
Okay, so see, when you make a critical path, the name, forget about the critical part. It is a path.
Yes, sir.
Path means from A to B or A to F, whatever, like from start to end.
Yes, sir.
Does bar chart give you any information about what is the start, what is the end, or how the path would move?
No, sir.
Then
No,
that makes
That
that,
philosophy, yeah. So that philosophy is not valid over here.
it shows only duration.
yeah.
It shows the bar chart shows only the duration.
Yeah, only the
we
duration, only the
require
start.
relationship, sir.
only the start and end. Obviously, if we don't have relationships, we can't find the path.
Mm.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so there is one more benefit of using bar chart, visualization of the progress. So we will see that part. So you have been given the updates in textual form. Activity A is complete, B is complete, C, D, E.
So that's for the end of 4 months. So maybe we can draw a line
Okay,
on that.
so we are talking about end of 4 months now. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
let's say this is today.
Mhm.
How will we represent other things?
Maybe we can, for example, it stated that activity A is complete. So maybe we can hatch,
Stated form.
Okay,
yeah, hatch or shade.
okay, hatch or shade. So either you can have hatching like this, or similarly you can create
Yeah,
another
parallel.
bar, right?
Mhm.
So it's like whatever is better, what how you can visualize it better, you can do
As
it.
per convenience.
What about other activities? Activity C is 40% complete. Now how will you mark it?
So for activity C, like uh, whole of the length and just shaded up to 40% of the length.
Uh, okay, so 4 weeks, 4 months, and this was supposed to be 50%. So till 40% it would be here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, you again made some assumptions on how to shade it. That the length not only represents the complete duration, but as it the work was uniformly distributed, it
Yes, sir.
right. You use the assumption here for activity D 50% complete, and activity E and F not even started.
Yes, sir.
So can you visualize the project progress on bar chart now? Okay,
Yes,
you
sir. Like if we talk about the each activity, we can easily say that okay, A is complete, B is complete, C activity C and D are uh, lagging,
yeah.
lagging behind.
They are behind the schedule.
Yeah, behind the schedule, you can say.
Okay, so that's it. Any other information that you can get from here? See, we have visualized the whole thing. Any other information can you see? You will see that again
C
assumptions will
and D
become.
can be started independently.
Okay, see again an assumption, or yeah.
Maybe maybe we can also see that how much of the project is left.
Okay, if we say that the bars are of uniform
Yeah.
work, yeah. See, you see that bar charts for a higher level of visualization, they are very good. Like just by looking at this figure itself, you can say that activity C and D are behind the schedule, activity A and B are complete, E and F are not even started. So you see at a glance itself, you gather high level information,
Yes,
and
sir.
that is basically the main use of bar chart. Or do you find any other information in this visualization?
E and F can be preponed now. It should be started at this month.
Sir, because this is the baseline that we gave. That activity E will start at the end of fifth month, and activity F will start at the end of sixth month. Right?
Okay. So we cannot
So,
prepone.
as we don't have any other information, I mean, nobody said that, okay, we have got enough resources for E, let's start it. We cannot prepone it, right?
Okay.
Okay. So now you kind of used the bar chart to its whole extent. This brings me to back to the previous the boring slide. Any questions? Okay, we are the context of the session has ended. So this is just the overview part. Any questions? regarding this session or the previous one or the assignments?
In
Yes, sir. Can
summary, okay.
Yeah,
so can you just move back to the previous slide?
yeah, definitely. This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like, I want to ask that whether the bar chart is like that serving for the purpose of monitoring the progress of only individual activities, or it is kind of helping us out to monitor the progress of entire project as well.
Uh, okay. See, when you talk about the entire project and you want to talk in terms of quantities, 50% over, 60% over, then you will be needing more information, right? If you're talking
Yes, sir.
about in terms of cost, you will be needing more information, like what costs have been already incurred, what amount of bills have already been produced to the client. That information is not here. Now what you see here is A, B, C, D, E, F. Only six activities, and it is taking almost more than half of our screen is being taken. So,
Yes, sir.
and a project may I mean a project usually consists of 500 or 1000 activities.
Yes, sir.
You can't be having each and every activity on bar chart, right? So what you would be having is, you would be having a group of activities, clubbing them, or higher level visualization.
Yes, sir.
So you can say that. Now, how do you come to your answer now? I told you that out of 1000 activities, we are representing the 1000 activities in groups of 6 only.
So, what I think that maybe the bar chart, like, it can help us out, but only to some extent only. Like, we can keep on adding information, but I think then it will become complex.
Yeah, I mean, see, it is supposed to be the high level representation. Even
Yeah.
if you are
So
talking to,
abstract.
yeah,
So yeah, basically at the abstract level, for abstract level, it can serve the purpose.
yeah,
Okay, sir.
okay. So, any more questions? Okay, this brings us to the end of this session. Uh, Thank you for attending, guys. Hopefully, I will see you in the next sessions also.
So
Thank you
is
for
there any
attending.
possible of changing the time, sir? Saturday, second and fourth, there is no problem. First
Uh,
and third Saturday, it can be started after
okay,
6:30.
uh, sir. I mean, I can
Hey,
extend it later, but starting time I have to fix it, and there are some restrictions on me also. And these sessions are pro bono, if you get an idea.
okay.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I will be there for. I mean, the sessions can be extended even if you join late. We can recap things.
So here that I want to summarize
Yeah.
about the bar chart scheduling, the starting point of this bar chart.
Uh, so, I mean, can you please repeat? I missed some words. What you just said.
This bar chart has given some percentage and all that I want to know.
Okay, we didn't discuss any theory of bar chart separately. We started working on it directly. I
Sir.
mean, this was the discussion that bar chart is a visual representation in 2D with two axes, activity on y and time on x-axis. Is this information you want summarized?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so we have got horizontal bars representing the activities, and what this shows is the start date and end date of each activity. Now, how the progress is happening, like is it constant or is it variable? We are not showing it. We are showing the start and end date, and rest of the things we are assuming. Like in this case, we assumed it to be uniform.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So with this assumption,
Cost also
yeah.
start is there, end is there. Cost also it is mentioned.
Yeah. So, uh, with the start and end date, can we have the cost component represented here, or can we calculate it? That was the one question. So we saw that if activity A is of 2 months duration and it is costing 400,000, we don't know at what time or what is the rate of of incurring this cost, right?
Yes, sir.
But we are assuming in this case it to be uniform. So this is the con of bar chart, that even if you have to calculate some cost, it can give you the starting point that okay, let's have this kind of distribution, but the exact scenario is not mentioned. So this shows the lack of information represented in the bar chart. But
Yes, sir.
for the for the sake of calculation, we calculated the total cost of the project, and we calculated the cost incurred for each month, assuming uniform distribution, and we prepared
200
the
to
S curve.
okay. Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
S curve where S curve, the S curve, what is the basic variable? Where is that point is coming between
yeah.
x-axis and y-axis?
Okay, so let me mark it down. I didn't mark it. So for X curve, this is the time, and for right
Initial
now we
period,
have taken cumulative cost percent.
uh, 20, 40, 60, 80. Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir. First 200, 200 is the cost. Okay.
yeah. So 200 is the cost for first month, 600 for the second month. Then we had cumulative cost, 200, 800, 2000, and then we calculated the cost percent. See, this S curve
Total.
could be plotted on cumulative cost also, but for the sake of uniformity, we use cumulative cost percent.
So I would like to ask one question
Yeah,
regarding this S curve. Like, is this S curve plotted beforehand, like before the project as well, and during the project as well, or uh, like during the project only?
okay. So right now we plotted the S curve. What do you think? Is it during the project or at the start of the project?
I think since the start month and end month are written, maybe it is after the project has been completed, or
Start
it
to
can
end.
be the other ways also. Like we are just estimating the start or end month, and these are only the estimated costs. So that can be the case as well.
Okay. Uh,
I'm not
Anybody
sure.
who wants to add on this? See, we talked about it. S curve here is the baseline. It is on the estimated activity duration and estimated cost. We prepared the baseline. So this is the
Yeah.
baseline.
Okay. Okay. And then we can plot the actual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you will see is that we do not even plot the S curve again. We plot the points only.
Okay, sir.
Like we'll say that okay, at the end of 4 months, uh,
hmm
the cost incurred is 50%, and we will see that okay, is it going over budget or under budget? Is it behind schedule or on time?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we will see to it in earned value management.
Also, sir, like this S curve, like to plot this S curve, like we have used the data points for this project only, sir. Like, is it like that we often refer to the previous S curve that like actually has been done,
Uh,
and we
okay.
try to refine our the projected S curve, like for the project that is yet to happen. So
Okay.
that will kind of minimize the deviation as well.
Yeah, that yeah. Let me bring you back one step. How did you plot the S curve? What information did you need?
Basically, the activity duration, total cost,
Yeah,
and
the
time.
total cost, activity duration, and the like start and end date of the activity.
Yeah,
How
yes.
did you get this information?
So yeah, that can be also done from the previous experiences as well. So basically, yeah. So okay.
So I hope that answers your
Yes, sir.
query.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
basically, we can just compute these values only, or maybe we can plot various S curve and then do a curve fitting kind of a thing.
No, sir, we do not. We do not plot multiple S curves and do the curve fitting thing,
Okay, sir. Okay.
because that might be possible in theory, but in practice, it is better to start with the basic information, like whatever S curve that you are getting at that time, also
Yes, sir.
of the complete project. It would consist of what data points, different activities, the duration of those activities, the cost incurred.
Sure, sir.
So if we can have those in tabular form, that is easily manageable to us.
Yes, sir.
So
If there is a software like, can we just plot multiple S curve and then use the previous history of that plotting and then automatically generate?
okay, so how did you make the S curve? You plotted 2 points across the month, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but what was the shape of the curve? What was the slope? Was it continuous or what was it discontinuous? See, we don't know all these things now.
Yes, sir.
So curve fitting, when you have some curve that you are so sure about, then and only then you would do curve fitting now. But in this case, the data points are what you know.
Yes, sir.
So for some activity at the end of second month or at the end of third month, you know how much percent it would have been completed, what cost would have been incurred. So curve fitting on those points would be more accurate than curve fitting on S curve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for that explanation, sir.
Okay. Any other
Okay,
question?
sir.
Okay, how can you get the slides? Let me just post the drive link. Okay, so on this drive folder, I will be uploading all the slides. You will already find the previous, yeah, previous slide uploaded here. Okay, welcome. You guys already got the link for meeting recording, right? If somebody
Yes,
wants to
sir.
revisit or anything.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
okay, I am getting a no here. Let me paste it again. Uh, yeah. So, if you get any query, if you think about these sessions, you go through the slides and face any question, feel free to use discussion forum. Just post it there. I'll be checking it regularly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
See you
Thank you.
next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate the time and effort you are putting in for us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.